Overall reaction of glycolysis is one glucose molecule is going to break down to form two molecules of pyruvic acid. There is totally 4 ATP synthesized, 2 ATPs consumed. 4 minus 2 is going to be 2 ATPs. Net ATP available is 2 ATPs plus 2 NADPH2. So energy rich molecule, NADPH2 1 is equal to 3 ATPs. So 2 into 3 it is equivalent to 6 ATPs. If you convert it into ATPs, totally 8 ATPs are formed in case of glycolysis. Okay. So but if you are looking just like energy rich molecule, it is 2 NADPH2, 2 ATP. This is what you have to remember about the overall reaction of glycolysis, which is taking place both in aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Now the aerobic respiration, the third step is citric acid cycle, which is also called as tricarboxylic acid cycle or Krebs cycle. Now what you have to remember here is, still now there is formation of pyruvic acid. Carbon dioxide, nowhere it has got released. The carbon dioxide decarboxylation takes place in Krebs cycle. During Krebs cycle, energy-rich molecules are synthesized like FADH2, NADPH2. Then there is also synthesis of GTP. 1 GTP equals 1 ATP. What is GTP? Guanosine triphosphate. ATP is adenosine triphosphate. So overall you should also understand there is synthesis of energy-rich molecules, and from one Krebs cycle you get 3 carbon dioxide is released. But there is 2 pyruvic acid molecules formed, alva. 2 pyruvic acid it is going to release. 2 into 3 carbon dioxide is nothing but 6 carbon dioxide is going to be released. In the balanced chemical reaction you might have written it as 6 carbon dioxide is being released. Okay. So the carbon dioxide release takes place during Krebs cycle. Apart from that, in Krebs cycle there is synthesis of energy rich molecules like NADPH2, FADH2 and as well as ATP. In the form of GTP it will be synthesized. Okay. So tricarboxylic acid cycle, it takes place in the mitochondrial matrix. It is the process of complete oxidation of pyruvic acid by stepwise removal of all hydrogen atoms, which leaves 3 molecules of carbon dioxide. So that also liberates 3 molecules of carbon dioxide. That is followed by electron transport chain, which takes place in the Racker's particle or F1's particle, the inner membrane of mitochondria, that is the cristae. Cristae has granular structures called as Racker's particles or F1 particles. That we will be discussing, where FADH2 and NADPH2 are converted as ATPs. So you have to remember about that. The next first step, yes, please come down. Krebs cycle first step is formation of acetyl coenzyme A from pyruvic acid. Pyruvic acid should form acetyl coenzyme A. Only when there is a formation of acetyl coenzyme A, they can enter into the Krebs cycle or citric acid cycle. What is exactly going to happen there? From glycolysis, you got 2 molecules of pyruvic acid. Now pyruvic acid, they are going to liberate, NADH2 is going to form and carbon dioxide is liberated, and as a result you are going to get acetyl coenzyme A. You are going to get acetyl coenzyme A. 1 carbon dioxide is released. Pyruvic acid is a 3 carbon molecule that you have to remember about. So that is one aspect of it. So they are converted into acetyl coenzyme A. That is what you have to remember about. Okay. So this is the formation of acetyl coenzyme A. Please scroll down. Once it is formed, acetyl coenzyme A, we are going to see the Krebs cycle or tricarboxylic acid. This is frequently asked 5-mark question. Very easily you can remember. I'll give you a code word, mnemonics for this. Pack. Pyruvic acid acetyl coenzyme A, citric acid, ketoglutaric acid, succinic acid, malic acid, oxaloacetic acid. This is a very short form of the Krebs cycle. Okay, many places they would have put 2 arrow marks which indicates fast forward. So they have skipped. What I have studied it is, the formula is for all the substrate PAC square, IOKS square, FMO. Pyruvic acid, acetyl coenzyme A, cis aconitic acid, citric acid, isocitric acid, oxalosuccinic acid, ketoglutaric acid, succinyl coenzyme A, succinic acid, fumaric acid, malic acid, oxaloacetic acid. That is the complete cycle. What they have reduced to PAC, KSMO. Even you can be an expert there. You just remember the substrates first. Pyruvic acid, acetyl coenzyme A, citric acid, ketoglutaric acid, succinic acid, malic acid, oxaloacetic acid. PAC, KSMO. This mnemonics, if you can remember the entire cycle part of it. So PA, you have to write it first this way. Pyruvic acid, acetic acid, cis-aconitic acid, or citric acid is the first one. See, acetyl coenzyme A combines with the previous reactions oxaloacetic acid. Oxaloacetic acid is 4 carbon. Oxaloacetic acid is 4 carbon. 4 carbon plus 2 carbon. What is it going to be? 6 carbon. So they are going to form citric acid, which is 6 carbon. There is 2 reactions that is taking place. One is acetyl coenzyme A, which is 2 carbon, and oxaloacetic A, which is 4 carbon. 4 plus 2, they are going to form 6 carbon citric acid. Citric acid loses 1 carbon dioxide, so they have lost 1 carbon. And there is a formation of NADH2. There is a formation of NADH2. Okay, and they are going to form a 5 carbon atom, alpha ketoglutaric acid. Alpha ketoglutaric acid. Now this is a 5 carbon. Alpha ketoglutaric acid, they are going to form succinic acid. They are 4 carbon atoms. So from 5 carbon, if they become 4 carbon, they lose 1 carbon dioxide. And during this process, there is also synthesis of NADH2. There is also synthesis of ATP. Rather, it should be GTP. They have not given it so that you don't get confused. They have diluted the cycle itself. Anyway, they have given it as ATP because 1 GTP equals 1 ATP. There is no difference between them. So NADPH2 and ATP is synthesized. There is a formation of 4 carbon succinic acid. Now this succinic acid, there is formation of malic acid. And during this process, there is a synthesis of FADH2. 1 FADH2 is equivalent to 2 ATPs when they enter the electron transport chain. We'll discuss that later. So there is a formation of malic acid. From malic acid, there is a formation of oxaloacetic acid, which is also again 4 carbon. Oxaloacetic acid is regenerated and they get involved in the next cycle. 1 glucose molecule undergoes 2 Krebs cycle because there is 2 pyruvic acid molecules formed and there is a liberation of 6 carbon dioxide totally. See, carbon dioxide liberation, formation of NADPH2, formation of FADH2, formation of GTP, all this takes place during Krebs cycle. Okay, so this is what you have to remember regarding the Krebs cycle or citric acid cycle. In the entire process, I told you, you have to remember by this mnemonics. Pyruvic acid, acetic acid, citric acid, ketoglutaric acid, succinic acid, malic acid, oxaloacetic acid. So that is what is the entire thing. Pyruvic acid, which is 3 carbon, acetyl coenzyme, which is 2 carbon. They fuse with oxaloacetic acid, both of them merge to form 6 carbon citric acid. This citric acid, they lose 1 carbon dioxide. Then there is also synthesis of NADH2 and they are going to form 5 carbon atom alpha ketoglutaric acid. Alpha ketoglutaric acid is going to form succinic acid, which is 4 carbon. So they again lose 1 carbon dioxide. There is a synthesis of NADPH2, there is a synthesis of ATP, and this succinic acid is again converted to malic acid, which is a 4 carbon. During this process, there is a synthesis of FADH2. So malic acid is converted into oxaloacetic acid. Again, there is a synthesis of NADPH2. And there is finally this oxaloacetic acid will enter again into the next Krebs cycle. So each glucose molecule undergoes 2 Krebs cycles. So now in a single Krebs cycle, how many carbon dioxide is synthesized? 1, 2, 3 are here 1. If you remember at pyruvic acid level itself, 3 carbon becomes 2 carbon. Here 1 more carbon dioxide is liberated. So totally 3 carbon dioxide is liberated. NADH2, how many are formed? 1, 2, 3. 1 FADH2. 1 ATP. So 3 NADPH2, 1 FADH2, 1 ATP per Krebs cycle. For one glucose molecule, you have to multiply this. 6 NADPH2, then there would be 2 FADH2, 2 ATP. 6 NADPH2 is equal to 6 into 3, 18 ATP. 1 FADH2 is 2 ATP. 2 into 2, 4 ATP. Add 2 ATP, so you get 18, 22, 24. Okay, that is how the citric acid cycle you have to count it. Please scroll down. Now you have to remember overall reaction. Pyruvic acid is going to combine to form with 4 NAD plus. They are all incomplete. FAD plus 2H2 plus ADP plus inorganic phosphate. They are going to one pyruvic acid molecule we are talking about in presence of mitochondrial matrix alagathil. Okay, they are going to form 3 carbon dioxide, 4 NADH2, 1 FADH2 plus ATP. So 4 NADH2, it is not 3, 4 NADH2. Okay, so that is what you have to remember. For 2, how much it would be? 2 pyruvic acid molecule, it will be 6 carbon dioxide, 8 NADH2, 2 FADH2, 2 ATP. So this is what is the bioenergetics lecachara kodakavalli. I will give you that. So in a single citric acid cycle, for a single glucose molecule, they undergo 2 Krebs cycle, and at the end of it, you find 6 carbon dioxide is liberated, 8 NADPH2 is liberated, 2 FADH2 is liberated, 2 ATP is liberated. This is what is going to happen during the Krebs cycle. Okay. Now, electron transport chain, what is going to happen is this NADH2 and FADH2 are oxidized to release the energy. One NADH2 is oxidized to release 3 ATPs. One FADH2 is oxidized to release 2 ATPs. So the energy-rich molecules are oxidized in the electron transport system, so that our body can recognize this in the simple form, that is the ATP. Oxidation of one NADH2 produces 3 ATPs. Oxidation of one FADH2 produces 2 ATPs. Okay. So the oxidative phosphorylation, please scroll down. Respiratory balance sheet, I will just discuss about completely. Please scroll it down. Overall reaction: glucose plus 6, oxygen plus 36 ADP plus 36 inorganic phosphate. They are formed carbon dioxide, water, 36 ADP. The overall reaction of it. Please scroll down. Yes. Glucose in glycolysis pyruvic 2 ATPs are synthesized, 2 NADH2s are synthesized. What is 2 NADH2 is equal to? 2 into 3, 6 ATP. 2 plus 6, 8 ATPs are formed in glycolysis. Pyruvic acid in the pyruvic acetyl coenzyme 2 NADH2s are synthesized at this level. Okay, which is equal to 6 ATP. Acetyl coenzyme A formation alli carbon dioxide liberate agutte, NADPH2 formation agutte. Okay, in the citric Krebs cycle there is 6 NADH2, 2 FADH2, 1 ATP is there. They have not mentioned that. So 18 ATP plus 4 ATP. Totally you get 38 ATPs. Out of 38 ATPs, 2 ATPs are utilized for transferring pyruvic acid from cytoplasm to mitochondria. Okay, 2 ATPs are utilized for transferring pyruvic acid from cytoplasm of the cell to the mitochondria. They spend 2 ATPs. So totally it is 36 ATPs. So this this is the overall reaction which we will discuss in the coming classes. Okay, it is a concise form of it. We will be discussing this RQ and other things from the 5 or 10 minutes chapter of it. Tomorrow I will be discussing about that. Okay, so this is what you have to understand, especially the energetics, total ATP formation. You should understand it very well. Okay.